Another undulating course lay ahead of the riders at the start of Stage 3 of the OVO Energy Women's Tour. But with the unpredictable attacks, solo breaks and sprint finishes of the opening stages, they could only be certain that anything could happen.
I expect actually sort of the same like yesterday. The climbs were harder, but I expect an aggressive race, a lot of attacks, and with the wind picking up, we might have some side wind, crosswinds. It will be a hard stage.
Yesterday I was actually expecting the bunch to be smaller at the end, so it just shows that everyone's kind of a bit worried about the race distances and also just tired at the end, so they can't do as much. So I think it can go either way today. I think the bunch is definitely going to be smaller for a sprint, but it might be similar to yesterday as well, with about 20 or 30 riders.
Huge crowds turned out in the small market town of Atherstone to send race leader Kasia Niewiadoma and her fellow 92 riders on their way. No doubt enjoying far warmer, sunnier conditions than the day before. Not that the racing was any more comfortable though. A big crash 26 kilometres in took out some of the major contenders for the upcoming stages. Among them Elena Amulusik and Wilander Spoor, who were both forced to abandon. Chloe Hoskin got back on her bike quickly, but Elisa Longo Borghini had evidently fallen hard and required a number of trips to the medical car as she continued on the rest of the stage. Both Team Sunweb and Boels Dolmans set up mini lead-outs in what was becoming a strongly contested battle for the sprints jersey. But it was Team WNT's Katie Archibald who made the long lunge for the line to pick up those full 3 points. Jolien D'Hoore could only take second, but that was enough to leapfrog sprint leader Lisa Klein in the standings. The Wiggle High Five rider would take the red jersey for definite at the second intermediate sprint. The usual suspects of Amy Peters and Archibald also adding to their tallies. With just over half of the race gone, an attack was made, orchestrated by Women's World Tour Youth jersey Cecily Uttrup Ludwig. She was joined by Gracie Elvin, and then a trio of Małgorzata Jasinska, Shara Gillow and Martina Ritter. While riders dropped from the back of the peloton, the break surged on. Ritter fell back from the quartet as they kept tempo up and over Edge Hill. Back in the chase, Mountains jersey Audrey Cordon made sure she was front of the pack to pick up the only Queen of the Mountains point available. At Burton Dasset, Ritter of Drop Cycling fought back. The break held an advantage of 1 minute 45. But with Ludwig only 1 minute 58 back on GC at the start of the day, the green jersey was at stake. And the group behind began to rally. With the escape still up ahead, no one surged more than Cordon in an effort to maintain her mountains lead at the QOM. The Frenchwoman was somewhat frustrated then, as Ellen van Dijk wandered ahead of the line to claim the only point on offer. Van Dijk's powerhouse effort at the front continued to trim time off of the lead quintet, down to a minute. And on the straight exposed roads that stretched to the finish, the chase group halved the deficit within 6 kilometres. Despite the escape's valiant effort, it was all back together with 5 kilometres remaining, and the sprinters began to gather. Wiggle High Five ignited the sprint first, and with the sudden acceleration, a crash. Marianne Vos thrown into the barriers, a broken clavicle putting an end to her Women's Tour campaign. Jolien D'Hoore still held the front. Alice Barnes weaved her way through to make up ground. D'Hoore unleashed teammate and former world champ Giorgia Bronzini with 200 metres to go. Bronzini faded, Hoskin bolted from her slipstream and then powered to the line for her first Women's World Tour win of the season. Barnes held on for second, Van Dijk snuck third. Ale Cipollini becoming the 8th team to get a Women's World Tour victory in 2017. Niewiadoma finished safely in the group to stay in green.
It's actually been a while since I've raised my arms, so to come up with the goods today is, I was a little bit emotional after the stage. Obviously this is such a huge race, and to come away with a win, I'm really happy, and it's a bit of a relief off my shoulders, especially to repay my team and everything.
I'm sprinting against some of the best in the world, so I was really happy with how it went, and I went for quite a long one because normally I'm sort of holding back and just trying to follow the wheels, and I'm getting pushed out a lot, so I thought I'm just going to have to put my nose in the wind a bit more and go for it. And I just died towards the end, but yeah, second in well, it was my best ever World Tour result, so I'm over the moon.
Alice Barnes' older sister Hannah also made the top 10, coming in 6th. And in the GC, Van Dijk's 5 bonus seconds on the stage cuts Niewiadoma's lead to a still healthy 1 minute 43.